Business is about problem solving. And I tell everybody that. You can't outdo me unless you got a better way to solve the problems. And the way I see business is this. So this is gonna tie into to my way of thinking.
Okay.
So people look at business or the product as in, or like say trucking. They look at it, oh, I have a trucking company, so I'm doing trucking. Okay, if you got a trucking company, what's gonna make you the difference? The difference between me and you.
Right.
What's the difference between somebody going to Target or Walmart, right?
Right.
Do you shop at Target or do you shop at Walmart? Because this is more broader for people that can understand.
I prefer to shop at Target, but my wife likes to shop at Walmart.
But you shop at Target because of what?
I just prefer to be in Target.
You prefer to be in Target for a certain
because
reason.
of the aesthetic.
Because the aesthetic.
Right, and
Customer
I feel
service.
Customer service. It's not as crowded. I don't feel like quality. There you go.
So now I want to get people to start looking at business from that.
Yep.
So you admit it right here on this podcast.
Live. Yep.
That we as consumers shop for what we're actually buying.
Yes.
So that means trucking is a commodity. That means Walmart toilet paper is a commodity. Walmart is selling price and convenience. More locations, lower prices. Target not selling price. They're selling customer service. They're selling quality.
Yeah.
They're selling aesthetics.
Yeah.
They're selling cleanliness. They're not even selling the same thing. So you can look at Walmart as being bigger than Target because they got more locations, but they're not even selling. They're not even competitors, essentially.
Right.
They're not even trying to attract the same people.
They're not even in the same lane.
Because people that are Target shoppers.
Target, right.
Target shoppers, they like me.
They Target. Yeah.
If it's Target or Walmart, I'm going to Target all day. Because notice, Target sells authentic Apple products. Where if you go to Walmart, you're going to get that $5 charge, you got to buy 5 times. I'm just saying. So I'm a quality person.
Right.
I'm a customer service person. I'm an aesthetics person. I'm going where the aesthetics, customer service, and the quality is at. That's why I'm shopping.
How do you integrate aesthetics and quality into a trucking company?
Easy. I feel like the look of your trucks, keeping your trucks clean, but I feel like you incorporate that with cleanliness in the operation. Okay, so if I'm coming on board, how can I communicate with somebody? How can I reach my dispatch team? So I got GroupMe apps. The lock boxes, it's attractive. I don't have to, I take away thinking. The CEO job is to think.
Right.
The worker job is to do.
Right.
So if your company has employees that's thinking, you're gonna fail. Because employees are hired to do, not to think.
Right.
I need them to think about certain things.
Yeah.
But the whole point of me, you're working in my creation.
Yeah.
So I need time to think about how to build in my creation.
Yeah.
So that's the CEO mindset.
What do you think about new investors just entertaining getting into the trucking industry without any experience now? With the way things are now currently, what do you think about that? Because it's becoming very sexy and trendy, right, to get into the trucking industry.
Hey, man, I'm on coaching calls all the time about like football players, everybody trying to get in.
Yeah.
It's very attractive. It's very high gross. But I just try to let them know that you got to have a killer on your team. You got to have somebody who's going to put in that work. Because there's work that's going to have to be put in, whether it's you or whether somebody's going to have to put in the 16 hours. Somebody's going to have to do the cold calling. Right. Somebody's going to have to do the broker. Somebody's going to have to do the dispatching. So somebody's going to have to do, you want to know the thing that put my company out of business?
What's that?
Somebody's going to have to be responsible for compliance.
Nobody's
talking compliance. Nobody's talking ELDs.
The big C.
Nobody's talking hours of service.
Right.
Nobody's talking that the driver can only drive for 11 hours.
Right.
So while you trying to say you want to book these loads, you got to make sure your driver even got their time clock before you can even take a load.
Right.
But guess what? Dedicated freight eliminates that. Because it's going to be 10 hours in between because I do it every day. So compliance is the thing that put me out of business. That's the most important thing not talked about. That's the thing that every investor needs to look into, the mind of what it takes to get a driver to do something as simple as log into their ELD and make sure that when they get pulled over, they're not getting violated.
Right.
That's a component that nobody's talking about.
Yeah. Now, for sure. Do you think now is the time to get into the trucking industry?
I think it's always going to be a time to get it. I mean, trucks deliver 70%. Ground transportation makes up 70% of all things moving. You can't find anything in your house. There's not one thing in your house that didn't get here by a truck.
Right.
Whether it came here on plane, got to a truck, then went to a van,
right,
it touched the ground getting here. So it's never oversaturated because not everybody's going to make it. I feel like nobody should be discouraged about getting in because guess what? Just like all of them old people are getting out right now. You got a bunch of old head owner operators, bunch of businesses closing down because they can't get with the new way that it's going on with Amazon paying so low. They can't get with a new strategy of how of a person like me that's like, oh, well, if Amazon ain't paying me enough, I'm gonna start a dispatch company and a brokerage, and I'm just gonna be in all three phases instead of, you know what I'm saying? They
Right.
can't get with the change the same way hotels complaining about Airbnb.
Right.
So there is plenty of room for new investors to get in. Just like Airbnbs, it ain't gonna never be too many because it's growing, it's consistent, and not everybody is gonna make it because not everybody, unless everybody follow the CEO mindset, but a lot of people just ain't ready because they still, you know, workers in their mind. So investors,
Right.
come in with that CEO mindset. Make sure you got time enough to build it, set it up though. Or either call me and I can help you set it up, you know, but set it
No
up to
doubt.
where it can run on its own. And then I would say that, but if you ain't got time to set it up, to be there, to actually understand at least the bare minimum, the rudiment of it, I just feel like you're destined for failure.
Where do you start? Semis, box trucks? Where would you say somebody gets started? How do you find your niche?
I would just say find a niche based on, you know, what you're willing to do. Fuel, a lot of things is too compliance heavy for me, so I don't deal with it. I stick with dry freight because it's easy, you know. So if you're trying to find a niche, it depends on what you're going for. Are you looking to make the most money? Are you looking to have the smoothest operation? Because that's what dedicated is smoother, but expedited is more profitable.
Right.
So it depends on, are you looking for, you know, a lot of friction and people calling you because trucks broke down away, or are you looking for something smoother? You have to decide in that moment, is it you looking for a more passive thing that you can do, or are you looking for something that you trying to work in?
Right.
So that's what's going to determine what you're going to do. That's my I3 formula. It goes work, driver, then truck. Strictly. Anybody that's not rocking with that formula is gonna lose. I guarantee you. I stand behind it. I bet you $1,000.
Blue magic.
I guarantee you, if you operate in any other way outside of that, and your paper ain't long enough to take the 80 that I lost eventually over time, you're gonna lose because the work is gonna determine investors. The work is gonna determine what type of driver you need.
Right.
What type of driver is gonna determine what type of truck. Case in point, when I got in the game, well, what did I tell you the work that I had? The work was box truck work.
Yep.
So I was the driver. 2 problems solved. All I had to do was go get the truck.
There you go.
See what I'm saying? So so how many people got trucks sitting because they took a course and the person didn't tell them that? They didn't tell them that they needed to make sure that they had work solidified. And then people ask the question, well, how do I get work if I don't got a truck?
Right.
You got cold calling, acting like they ain't never lied on the application before. Come on, man. Folks acting like folks want to use it to get a job. Use that same grit, that same grind, that same finesse.
I love that.
To get through it. Like trucking is the finesse game.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I got through this thing about finesse. And if I sat and waited up and tried to be blue collar, man, I would be somewhere working at the post office still doing Amazon packages instead of delivering.
Right. You want to start getting timid all of a sudden when it's for yourself, right?
It's the same thing, bro. The same thing applies. I'm calling these folks acting like I got 10 trucks. When Amazon called me and asked me if I had 10, I didn't have 10.
Right.
I had 1.
Right.
But I told them I had 10 because I knew that I had enough money to go rent 9 more.